Everyone. Welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm Casey. I guess I can tell you a little bit about myself or the reason behind starting this YouTube channel. Going to the movies and movies in general and TV are just something that I've been into. Like, I spend a lot of time at home watching Netflix and watching all kinds of movies. And for the last 4 years, my dad and I have been going to the movie theaters constantly. It started out as just a horror movie thing. We both are super into horror movies. So that was just something that we did together, is go to the movies to see them. And then now it's all kinds of movies, all genres. We go and see comedies and action movies. But it started out with horror movies, and now here we are 4 years later, probably going to the movies twice a month. But because of that, I decided to make a YouTube channel to share my opinions and thoughts and general knowledge on some of the movies and TV shows that I have seen. So I decided to discuss Shark Week on my first video. This year's Shark Week was definitely much better than the last couple of years, in my opinion. Last year's was a big issue for me. I looked up the lineup a couple weeks before it was starting and found out that it was basically based around celebrities and famous people. And I didn't really know how I felt about it, so obviously I just gave it a shot and watched some of them. I definitely was not into it. I didn't enjoy any of them. So they did a Shaq Does Shark Week special. Sorry, I'm in my backyard and the bugs are crazy right now. They did a Shaq Does Shark Week special, and it was just about Shaq overcoming his fear of sharks. Kind of pointless. Then they did Bear versus Shark. So it was Bear Grylls, the outdoor enthusiast, versus sharks. And he chummed himself and free dove in the water with sharks. It's pretty crazy. And then what else did they do? Ronda Rousey, the UFC fighter, she went free diving in the water with bull sharks and mako sharks. And she was trained by a retired Navy diver. So yeah, she just went diving in the open water with mako sharks and bull sharks, and so it was basically about her going up against another apex predator that's definitely different than what she's used to, obviously, because she fights people. And then Monster Tag, which I thought was also really stupid. They had 3 celebrities. Aaron Rodgers was, he's the quarterback for Green Bay. And then they had Gronkowski. Obviously, everybody knows who that is. Former Patriots player, and what was her name? Lindsey Vonn, who was on the US ski team. They were just on a boat with scientists and researchers helping tag sharks. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of knowledge about all those episodes and everything. I just know what they were and who was on them and what happened. And I also know that I didn't enjoy it. I think that it was like a propaganda stunt by the creators of Shark Week. I think maybe they were just trying to do something different. I just think it failed. I was not into it. I don't know how many of you are Shark Week fans, but I definitely would love to hear your feedback in the comments if you were a fan of last year's Shark Week and all of the celebrity appearances. This year was good, like I said. They had a motion picture for the first time in Shark Week history called Capsized, and it was based on a true story about a vessel that capsized with 5 passengers, and they were adrift on a lifeboat for several days with no food and water, and they were terrorized by tiger sharks. So they decided to make a motion picture for Shark Week this year, and I think that it was a really good idea. I don't know about the ratings or reviews or any of the statistics on how it did, but I definitely enjoyed it. I think it was a really good idea because it's different and it's something they've never done before. One of my favorite parts of Shark Week is air jaws. I've been watching Shark Week since I was a little girl because sharks have always been like a big interest in my family. My brother wanted to be a marine biologist to study great whites. So I've been watching it for a long time, and air jaws has definitely been like my favorite segment every year. They don't do it every year, but when they do, it's usually really, really good. And I think it's super awesome to see the sharks breaching. I'm like really obsessed with great whites, and I think they're one of the most amazing creatures in the ocean. So getting to see them breach like that 10, 15 feet in the air out of the water is insane to me. They did a segment this year on air jaws, and it was very different than past years. I don't think that I saw a shark breach. Well, no, I think the shark breached. A shark breached once, I think, in the whole episode, which is very different than how it usually is. They basically had to go searching for the great whites in a different area than usual. They always film air jaws off of the coast of South Africa because there's such a big population of them down there. And there's large populations of seals in that area as well. So that's where they get the greatest shots of the sharks breaching. So for some reason, the sharks have been disappearing from South Africa. So they had to find their new spot. So they ended up finding them off of Australia. Oh God, I just killed a bug on my head. Anyways, they ended up finding them off of Australia, the coast of Australia. And it was basically they just filmed the sharks swimming around, chasing after the seals. And then they also showed how seals get into groups and then scare off the shark. So seals are definitely learning that they can fend off the great whites to help protect themselves. So yeah, air jaws this year was not a good one. I was a little disappointed, but what are you gonna do? I think there was a couple other segments this year that I actually really enjoyed. The Great White Kill Zone off of Guadalupe was basically the marine biologists and scientists were trying to find where the sharks do most of their hunting and killing. And a large population of them, they did figure out that a large population of them off of the island of Guadalupe do hunt and stalk their prey in the depths off of the island. So that one was really interesting. And then another segment was Legend of Deep Blue, which I was super interested in and excited for because Deep Blue, as if any of you are shark fans know, is the largest great white on record right now. So they had a whole segment on scientists searching for her because they have not seen her. I think they saw her earlier this year. A woman free dove with her off of the coast of Hawaii, but that was the last time she was seen. It was early this year. So that was an interesting one. They did not find Deep Blue, but it was still a really cool episode. And then, oh, another super interesting one was the Isle of Jaws. It was called Isle of Jaws Blood Brothers. It was about these two great whites that they're believed to be brothers, and they've been seen over the last couple of years hunting their prey, living and traveling together, which is definitely not a behavior that you see often with great whites. They, especially not with relatives, like blood relatives, they usually separate at birth and that's it, like they're on their own. But apparently these two male great whites have been found multiple times over the last couple of years hunting and traveling together, which is really interesting and like not heard of for great whites. So that's really cool. Fun fact about me, like I said, I'm super into great whites. So I am in the process of trying to plan a trip to go cage diving. And obviously, you want to go cage diving with great whites, you have to go where the great whites are. And being from New Hampshire, obviously I'm not going to be able to do it anywhere near here. So I've definitely been looking into that a lot. I think that I'm going to, the best plan so far is to fly to Mexico and then get on a charter boat that travels out to Guadalupe Island, and you stay out there for 6 nights on the boat and you cage dive every day with the great whites. I'm super pumped about it. It's obviously going to be very expensive. So it's like over $2,000 to stay on the boat for 6 nights and cage dive the whole time. So I definitely have to start saving up for that. The flight to Mexico is way cheaper than anything else that I'm going to be doing on the trip. So that's like the least of my worries. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. So a lot of planning going into it and a lot of saving. I think that's all I have for Shark Week 2019. I also wanted to let you guys know I got this, I just ordered this bracelet off of dorsal.com. It's a bracelet with a shark on it. And every purchase removes 1 pound of trash from our ocean. So it's a super cute bracelet if you're into sharks, and it's obviously for a really good cause. So if you want to save our oceans or help save our oceans, I highly recommend buying one. Dorsal.com. It's really great. They were not expensive at all. So that's all I have. I'm not positive if this is going to be like a once a week channel or multiple times a week. Like I said, I watch a lot of Netflix and movies, so I'm not out much, so I have a lot of free time. So it'll probably be multiple videos a week. But if you guys enjoyed the video and if you want to see more, subscribe to my channel and comment your feedback and your opinions on all the topics that I talked about today. And thank you for watching.